Good morning, everybody. Happy Budget Day, as they say. I think my phone's a bit off there. Never mind. I'm not re-recording it. Let's have a listen to what Tiff Macklin said last week regarding what we have to give up and where he thinks people are heading with the way the government is running the country, basically. Yeah, Tiff came out and he said stuff about the dropping of the interest rates and how monetary stuff isn't aligning very well for some reason. We need to produce more, even though we're actually losing jobs. I mean, hundreds, thousands of jobs in manufacturing. But yeah, don't listen to me. Listen to the guy in charge of the Bank of Canada.
And unfortunately, what that means is that unless something else changes, our incomes will be lower than they otherwise would have been. They'll grow, but they'll grow along a low. This was the old path. Now there's a new path, which is below the old path. There are things the country can do to try to bend that curve up, but those aren't things monetary policy can do. These are more structural changes. I mean, fundamentally, as a senior deputy governor is hammered many times, we need to get our productivity growth up. And if we can do that as a country, we can bend that curve up. So, I mean, I think what's most concerning is that unless we change some other things, our standard of living as a country, Canadians, is going to be lower than it otherwise would have been.
So yeah, he's giving you an idea of exactly where the country's going with the interest rates. So when the interest rates on mortgages drop and unemployment like excels, especially when you bring in more people in and there's more people unemployed, that's where you're diving into a recession. Well, you're supposed to, but I think if you bring more and more and more and more people in, if you can, that's the only way you can maybe just stave off the recession a little bit by flooding the country with immigration, with people who can just make up the numbers, so you can get the GDP number up there with the best in the G7. Yeah. Don't look at the price of ham or the price of eggs or cheese. Look at our GDP rating in the G7. That's what you want to base things on, not what it actually costs you in real life, looking at it with your own eyes and through your own bank account. Oh no. Don't look at that. Don't look at how that's going to, don't look at how the government's affected you personally. Think about it overall. Think about all the people in the world. Well, Canada, well, no, it's the Canadian government, isn't it? So think about all the people in the world we give money to. Your tax money. Yeah, we spread it evenly around the world. Yeah, we don't concentrate it really in Canada because we don't like spending money on people who look like you and me. No. It's trouble now. And what about May? Do you think May will vote for the budget? Do you think she's going to be well? Let's have a listen. Let's have a listen to what she had to say.
Think of all these threats from the government saying that we could be in an election on Christmas.
It's not a threat, it's a description of parliamentary process. They're a minority government. They have no right to pass a budget. We haven't read it yet. I've made it very clear to this government that I will not vote for any budget that includes fossil fuel subsidies. That's my one condition. Otherwise, I haven't read the budget yet, so I haven't decided how I'm going to vote.
Who could support this?
What's that?
Who could support this budget? Sorry, I'm losing my
Well,
voice.
no one's read it yet. They haven't had to negotiate with me. I'm one vote, but they know that I will not vote for a budget that includes fossil fuel subsidies.
Would you be prepared to go to an election before the holidays?
I'm not prepared to betray my granddaughter's future by voting for fossil fuel subsidies, no matter the cost in terms of politics. The future is in renewables, not fossil fuels.
Do you have any concerns about hearing the government House leaders say that they're willing to go to an election?
I don't think they have a choice. We're in a minority parliament. There is no one all-powerful player here. We have to work together. That's a good thing for democracy.
Yeah, so she won't vote on the budget if the government subsidizes fossil fuels. But look, yeah, we're pretty big on subsidizing. What should you use that word for? Subsidizing fossil fuels. Yes, we have very definitely got a talking issue today. she won't vote, so she's not going to vote. So she shouldn't vote because they do subsidize fossil fuels. Yeah, that's what the government are doing. That's how they, and that's what they should be doing. We should be putting money into the pipeline. We should be putting money into getting LNG out the ground. We should be putting money into oil, getting oil out the ground and sending it to BC and getting that transported around the world. Biggest thing though, the biggest thing is LNG. LNG could reduce emissions around the world, even though Bill Gates says that doesn't really matter anymore. But if you want to run down that path, just dig up LNG. Well, dig up gas and make it into LNG, and then send that away. That would be great. Well, the fact that America's beat us to it now because Trudeau said we don't have any business doing that. But Canada's a bit late to everything, really, isn't it? Yeah. And who's the people who suffer for it? Yeah, we do. We end up the ones paying the extra tax here or the extra tax there, and donating money towards this famine or that war or this LGB alphabet. I think there was something to do with growing non-binary rice or something in Africa. Where they come up with these ideas? I have no idea, but maybe they all use ChatGPT to come up with ideas to get money off the Canadian government, these other countries. Who knows? They're doing. Just a short interlude there with the squirrel. I thought that Poilievre explained it best last week about what Carney does. He sort of comes up to the microphone and says a lot of really great things, right? Says he's going to, especially Jolly, we're fighting for your jobs. Remember what I said the other week? Yeah, don't fight for my job because I like my job. I don't want you to go anywhere near my job and fighting for it. But I think Poilievre got it right about Carney. He's a bait and switch guy, isn't he?
Of accelerating major projects with a big focus too on, boosting apprenticeships. It seems like you two are speaking from the same playbook here. So, what's kind of your concern with what he said yesterday?
Well, my concern is the gap between what he says and what he does. It's always the bait and switch. He said he would spend less. He's spending 8% more. His deficit is 100% more than the one that the Liberal government had already put in place. He said that we would have projects approved, but other than projects that were already approved, there have been no progress on that either. He's kept all the anti-development laws that block projects in place. And while he promised that he'd have the fastest growing economy in the G7, we have the fastest shrinking economy in the G7. And this is the problem with having someone who, frankly, engages in counterfeit of conservative policies. He pretends that he believes in the things that we say, but then he never does them. And we can go down the list. On the carbon tax, sure, he suspended the visible part of the carbon tax, but he keeps the job-killing industrial carbon tax and brings in a fuel standard tax, which costs 17 cents a litre, just like the old tax. He says the right things on spending, but then he actually spends even more money. He says that he's going to do something on bail, but largely keeps Liberal bail in place. If you want the real deal, you have to vote for Conservatives. We are the only ones that will reduce the cost of government to reduce the cost of living.
Those values of sustainability and solidarity, fairness, are fundamental to Canadians.
Okay, well, that's it for today. I'm going to wrap it up. So what do you guys think? Do you think, how do you think the vote's going to go on the budget? Do you think it's going to pass? Do you think it will fail? Do you think the NDP will back them up? Do you think the Greens will help? Do you think Bloc? There's so many ways this could go. A lot of people have said a Christmas election. I'm like, no, it's a bit early, that, isn't it? Like, and the only reason they would push that is that The Liberals think they may get a majority, but let's see what happens today. I'm saying that the I'll probably come back on Thursday and I was wrong, and I'll be wrong. But I'm thinking the NDP will back the government all the way, like they have done for the last 10 years. See you on the next one.